Hi, my name is Mia. Hopefully you're here and have seen my demos, which is super cool. I've been posting those once a week, but I realized that I kind of hadn't said anything about who I am or what I'm doing. I've kind of just started putting out this content, so I wanted to chat and say hi and introduce myself and talk. So what I kind of want to do is tell you about my kind of past journey with music and then everything that's in the works right now, and then kind of tell you what the goal is in the future and how you can be there for that if you want to. So I hope this isn't too like video essay. We can be friends. I've always done music. I grew up in a musical family. My parents both played piano growing up a ton. My dad grew up writing poems and songs and skits and all sorts of things. Just music, being surrounded by music. Both of them played trumpet in marching band. So I grew up always singing nursery rhymes and all kinds of things, listening to all sorts of music. And I think it's stereotypical to say, but I was always making up songs and putting on shows. I remember the first song I wrote with my dad. He would play piano and I would write the lyrics, and it was a little song called Springtime, which one day maybe will see the light of day. But I joined choir when I was in third grade and pretty much did it the rest of my life. And I think it really helped grow my love for singing, primarily because I definitely do play a lot of instruments, but singing and songwriting is my main thing that I love. Anything that was like 4-part harmony, really tricky stuff, I would love. And I got into that kind of early. Aside from choir, I was always doing musicals. So I started doing musicals at church really early on, elementary school maybe, and continued to do that through middle school and a little bit of high school as well. My parents put me in piano lessons from a really early age as well, and I believe I did those for about 6 years, but we moved a lot, and so it was really choppy, and I never really got good at it. I've been working on playing a little more now, learning chords and things like that, but even failing at piano was something that really got me loving music. Growing up just harmonizing to the radio with my parents or my grandparents all really just got me absolutely loving music. And I started writing music in 4th grade, and I have some of those songs saved in the depths of my Google Drive that hopefully no one ever sees, but I would work on them in voice lessons, and I don't know, they're horrible and they sound like a 4th grader tried to write a radio hit, but they're just so fun, and you can tell that I really was starting to care about it. Really kind of starting to realize that this is what I wanted to do, even though they are so bad. I wrote a lot of music 4th to 5th grade, and then kind of took a pause because I think I realized that it was bad around 6th grade. I did some musical theater and choir, obviously, but in my freshman year of high school, I got my first ukulele, and it was this bright pink soprano ukulele, and I just absolutely ate that up. I, of course, was playing Riptide and House of Gold and all of those stereotypical, ukulele learning songs where I think most people quit after learning those chords. I kind of never stopped. I would say it is my main instrument, which is a little silly given how mainstream it is, but I started writing songs on ukulele, and the first song I wrote coming out of the era of writing songs in 5th grade was Goodbye Friend, which is up on my YouTube right now, and you can check that out if you want to, but it was the first song that I kind of was able to take pride in. From then on, I kind of fell back into this love of songwriting, and now that I had an instrument, it felt so much more serious. Yeah, I wrote songs about my experiences and everything that I was going through, which is fun to look back on because I'm 18 now, and so to go back and say, wow, like when I was 14, seeing these things that I was processing through and thinking is super cool. So I've got this bank of songs kind of as I've grown up from 14 to 18, starting at Goodbye Friend. And of course, Match and Fairy Tale and all of these things, but that was when I kind of started to say, I am a songwriter. I spent kind of my high school years just writing on the side as I experienced things, and I'm so thankful for that because I think a lot of songwriters, once they make it their job to write songs, they kind of need to put themselves in a headspace to write a song. But I've got tons of songs that I just wrote as I was experiencing life, so I'm so thankful that I have these organic reflections on the things that I went through and experienced. So then things kind of started to shift a little bit for me when I graduated from high school early and joined Youth with a Mission for a gap year program, and I found some incredible friends foremost that were just such great musical influences for me. Just these incredible friends that all were so passionate about music and had different knowledge and skills from all over the place that we all compiled together, whether it was drums, piano, mandolin, guitar, banjo, just all sorts of things, all these really cool instruments that I got to learn about, and were incredible songwriters and incredible singers and harmonizers and improvisers, which really shocked me, and producers and mixers, and just all of these people my age that all came together and were incredible musical influences. That was really a blessing to learn from and create with. And I think I really started to say, surrounded by these people who were so encouraging and uplifting and who taught me a lot, to kind of really value the music that I was making and to start to think of it more as music than as maybe a personal diary. Obviously, I always was really passionate and poured my heart into every song, but to kind of start to think of it as maybe this is something that people could want to hear, maybe this is something that has excellence to it, which is a really cool thought. And I started to think that way and to make music from that perspective. And I think you can hear it once I started making music, then it changes a little bit. It gets a little more composed and intentional, which I think is really cool because it's very reflective of that season. But yeah, I spent a lot of time performing with them and writing with them and learning with them and experimenting with them just on all sorts of music. And it really inspired me to say, this is something serious and this is something that I can take seriously. I came back from that, a lot had really happened, and I was kind of called to a period of time where I just rested and was really blessed to be able to do that. So I spent a lot of time at home, and it was really kind of an emotionally burdened time. I wrote a lot and a lot of really cool stuff that really kind of felt like it was settling into who I am. I didn't have a job or even friends in the place that I was, and so really a lot of time just processing through things alone and creating. It was really an artist's dream, but there was kind of a shift that happened. I was still kind of working through emotional things, but I took a weekend trip around my birthday to Asheville to visit an old friend and saw Adam Melcher perform, who is my favorite artist, and you'll realize that quite soon. I went and saw him perform, and it was kind of one of those moments. If you are involved in any kind of art, I think you've probably had one, whether it's music or movies or paintings or sculptures or whatever kind of art you make, poetry, where you see something, you see a movie or listen to a song or just experience a piece of art that it gives you this indescribable feeling of both fullness, that this is so important and so meaningful, but also kind of an emptiness that you aren't doing enough. It calls you. I saw this concert and just really felt that like, man, I have an unfulfilled purpose. I kind of came back with a new perspective that I knew that this was kind of what I was called to, but of course I was still holed up in my room for most of the day, didn't have friends, kind of wasn't really able to pursue that. And I had been accepted way earlier that year into college and knew that that was the path I was going. So I decided to change my major before I even started at this school to have a music emphasis. I was studying biblical studies, but I added a music emphasis to it and really felt like that was what I needed to do. And I got to the school and it was just so different than what I expected. I was met with a lot of demands that didn't really seem like they were really going to help my musical journey. As a singer-songwriter, they had me doing a lot of choir and I suppose just classes and such that didn't really seem like they were going to further what I would need as a singer-songwriter. So I dropped the music elective and felt a lot of peace about that, just to be able to focus on doing my own thing. I kind of found that I was not spending time on music at all. I was spending time reading for class and doing schoolwork, and I never really did music. I definitely wrote songs during that time, but where I thought I was going to be making demos, putting things out, I just really wasn't. And by the end of the semester, I realized that was really what was missing, was the purpose that I was really looking for was music. And I realized, I'd had that moment back in May that told me this is it, this is that feeling. And I was kind of like, remember when I went to that concert and felt that? And I guess I just needed to hold myself accountable to say, what really is my purpose? I started posting a lot, and now of course I'm up to like 3 reels a day, 2 YouTube videos a week, on top of, you know, working and all of these things. I kind of realized like, hey, I want to start putting effort into this and really putting things out there. And it was tough because I think I kind of had come to terms with the fact that, you know, I had left college, I was back home, what am I gonna do? And I knew that it was music. Yeah, to kind of come to terms first with myself, to tell myself, hey, you can do this. Life is short and purpose is important. To really tell myself, hey, let yourself do this. And then, of course, to tell my friends that this is what I'm doing and my parents that this is what I'm doing, and I suppose the world, are all kind of learning curves that I've had to and still continue to get over every day. And now just every song I write and every video I make saying, yeah, I'm proud of this is what I want to do, has kind of told me, you know, this is what I was made for, this is my purpose, and I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna make it work. What I've kind of been doing every day, I said, you know, step number 1, let's make a habit, right? So I've been making a ton of content, putting out songs and covers and little videos and everything every day, which really has felt like a treat, especially at the beginning, kind of thinking I used to do these things just for fun, for myself, and never to show anybody, and now I do it all day, and you know, to have people respond to it is just so cool. Yeah, in addition to continuing to write all the time and learning new music and putting out content, I have kind of hinted at this, but I have a ton of music written. Ever since I was 14, I've been stockpiling songs that, since they are so true to my life and my experiences, I am really proud of them, and I feel like a lot of them really reflect the life stages I've gone through. So I am working on an EP, and right now we're in the process of finding producers and mixers and all these people to help me work on it and make it come to life, which has been crazy because starting it out, it's kind of really odd to put yourself out there and wonder, hey, does this person really want to work on my music and help me bring the vision to life? It's always been such a solo thing, so that's kind of the new hurdle to get over, accepting that I do have something worthy to share and that people could want to be a part of that. We'll make some music videos and start getting it out there. So I'm super excited about that. That's kind of what's going on at the moment, and I have some goals. I have some people I'd like to work with. I have some venues I'd like to play. I have a ton of music I want to put out. Yeah, the ultimate goal is really just to get music out there now and see where that takes me. Maybe one day I will tell you about all of these ideas that I have, and if that's something that you would really like to see, let me know. But step 1 is putting out this music, so you can expect this year to see some music from me, and I'm so stoked to get it out there and to work on it, and I really appreciate you being here, whether you found me from Instagram or you've known me forever, or this is the first video you've ever seen from me. I'm so thankful that you're here and that you're a part of this, and I really hope you know that you're loved, and I'm so thankful for you for being here to support me, and just that you're here and that the world gets to have you. I think I'll make some more of these once in a while, talking about whatever, because I want to be friends. Thank you for hanging out. All of my socials are linked below, between Instagram, TikTok, SoundCloud, whatever's your jam. I've also got Twitter, and there's the YouTube, obviously. Whatever you love to do, wherever you love to spend your time, I'm probably there. So go check them out. So thank you for being here. I will see you later. Bye.